Former AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland is recorded in a new YouTube video saying that AEW is taking WWE SmackDown's place on Fox. Speaking of the former AEW World Champion, he has reacted to reports of WWE believing AEW overpaid him with his new contract. Thunder Rosa hits back at Dave Meltzer for the Wrestling Observer's report on her injury status. A ladder match is set for next week's WWE SmackDown with the WWE Tag Team Championships on the line. AJ Styles returned to the blue brand after over 3 months off WWE television has been confirmed. Bayley will challenge for the Women's Championship at Bad Blood. Speaking of which, ticket sales reportedly are red hot for the PLE, and it's actually among the most in-demand tickets in pro wrestling history. Speaking of Bad Blood, we have host in the form of the Women's Tag Team Champions for the Premium Live event. Randy Orton says he has no issue with Cody Rhodes teaming with Randy Orton's former rival Roman Reigns, but he has to play Peacemaker involving Rhodes and Kevin Owens at the conclusion of SmackDown last night. Carmelo Hayes defeats Andrade, tying their series at 3 apiece. The opening match for the NXT premiere episode on the CW network has been confirmed. Timeless Toni Storm is on her way to CMLL. A match has been confirmed for tonight's Collision Grand Slam show, plus Anna Jay wins her first match back in AEW since competing in the Stardom 5-Star Grand Prix. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with Swerve Strickland possibly confirming reports and rumors that AEW is headed to Fox. Now, of course, there have been rumors swirling about this, and the wrestling world continues to wait for the official announcement of AEW's next TV deal. But former AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland may have let a fairly massive cat out of the bag. On Friday, YouTube entertainer Trevor Queensflip Robinson released a video of himself walking around Coney Island's Sneaker Con. At about 60 minutes in, he's shown encountering Strickland, and in the middle of their conversation, Strickland begins speaking about AEW's future and expresses excitement for a potential network move. Here's what Strickland had to say, and possibly letting the cat out of the bag.
It's a movie. We're about to move. We're about to get on Fox because SmackDown's leaving Fox, and then we're taking Fox.
You look, Fox and Warner Brothers. It's getting nasty outside. I'm telling you.
TBS, and Fox. We got all 3 of them things. And Tony Khan lets me do whatever the fuck I want.
Oh, what?
And he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's fire.
Now, when it comes to all of this, it's unclear whether Strickland was aware he was being recorded or not. Strangely, Strickland's acquaintances are carrying what appears to be the AEW World Championship, or possibly a replica. Robinson briefly holds the belt and comments on its weight. Moreover, Strickland refers to himself as the AEW World Champion, even though SneakerCon took place on September 21st and 22nd, almost a month after Strickland lost the title to Bryan Danielson inside Wembley Stadium, an event Strickland actually references. Now, rumors of AEW potentially getting a show on Fox in the wake of SmackDown's departure began flying around earlier this month after a report from Fightful Select, though the idea dates back to at least September of 2023 when SmackDown's impending move back to USA Network was announced. Nor were the waters calmed when Ibo of WrestlePurist claimed he had heard whispers of a new show called AEW Shockwave, a term AEW recently trademarked, that will air on FS1. Strickland's comment to Robinson, however, seemed to expressly indicate that AEW is getting a time slot on the Fox network television as opposed to FS1. Now, at the time of this recording, a deal between AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery has been reported to be in its final stages. Details on a potential collaboration between AEW and Fox, though, remain unconfirmed. Now, speaking of Swerve, again, he's been quite active recently, despite not being active on AEW television, and he's reacted to reports of WWE believing All Elite Wrestling has overpaid him. Now, at AEW All in London, Swerve Strickland signed a new contract with the company. Fightful Select reported that the deal was a multi-year contract that would see Strickland sticking with the promotion until at least 2028. Following his re-signing, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that the offer to Swerve was, quote, so far over what WWE perceived as market value, end quote, which could actually, as you imagine, generate quite a lot of talk on social media. Now, in a new interview with The Breakfast Club, Swerve Strickland was asked about the reports, and he had some things to say about it.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody complain that somebody got too much money. That's what he said earlier.
Well, they only complain when a black person gets paid. I will say that, when it gets paid. And that's what, once again, we shake the foundation and things like that, because it's like, oh, snap, wait. And it's not what we would pay. I'm like, then why are you calling me? Why are you asking me?
Right.
You know, like if I'm not your concern, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about my pockets and our money. We good. Like you have your talent, and you made your decision with me 2 years ago. No hard feelings from me. Boom, I keep it moving. I'm gonna figure my way out, and I'm gonna build myself up.
Is it true they tried to re-sign you? WWE?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he confirms that WWE attempted to re-sign him. Of course, WWE released Swerve Strickland from his contract in November 2021 before he went on to sign with AEW in March of 2022. Now, Strickland is currently not medically cleared after All Out 2024. It had been reported after signing his contract he had planned to take some time off. It's also been reported he could be back as soon as Wrestle Dream next month. Now, MVP made his AEW debut to seemingly try and recruit Swerve away from Prince Nana at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. Now, Thunder Rosa, she's hit back at Dave Meltzer for his reporting about her medical status recently. Now, Thunder Rosa is still on the shelf after sustaining a concussion, despite a recent report claiming the AEW star was cleared to get back in the ring. On Friday, Dave Meltzer reported in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Rosa was now cleared after having suffered a concussion, presumably during her most recent match, a four-way on AEW Collision for a shot at Mercedes Moné's TBS Championship on August 31st. Now, Rosa fired back at Meltzer on X, quoting the article, which has since been updated with her response. Here's what she had to say, quote, "Stop lying about my health. I'm not cleared, and when I am, I will announce it. I reserve the right to divulge my medical status. If you need information, ask me directly or my team." Now, Rosa revealed her injury on Busted Open Radio earlier this month and said she would be out of action for a few weeks. Rosa was previously out for 16 months with a back injury. She returned to AEW last December, helping Abaddon on an episode of Collision, and has feuded mostly with Deonna Purrazzo ever since. Their feud culminated in a Texas Bullrope match on an episode of Collision, where Rosa emerged victorious. She recently took her athletic skills during the recovery from the wrestling ring to the baseball diamond, where she helped the San Diego Padres celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month by throwing out the first pitch at the game. Now, moving over to SmackDown, this is going to take place next week. The WWE Tag Team Championships will be hanging above the ring. The former Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, are set to defend their WWE Tag Team Championships ahead of the Bad Blood Premium Live event on October 5th. The champions will be defending their belts on SmackDown ahead of the PLE next Friday in a triple threat ladder match against DIY's Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano and the Street Profits Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. In a video explaining a rundown of the card for next Friday's episode of SmackDown, General Manager Nick Aldis made the match official. He said, quote, "I thought let's do something special for the good folks in Music City, and I've come up with this," said Aldis, who currently lives in Nashville. "Next week on SmackDown, live from Nashville, Tennessee, will be a triple threat ladder match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. That's right. The Bloodline will defend against DIY and the Street Profits. The tag team titles will be suspended high above the ring. Winners take all." So that match is set for next week. Speaking of next week, AJ Styles will be returning to SmackDown. The go-home episode of SmackDown before Bad Blood is starting to resemble a can't-miss event. In addition to a WWE Tag Team Championship ladder match, a dumpster match, and other contests, fans can expect to see the return of AJ Styles. The announcement was made Friday night via SmackDown in a video package that saw Styles, donned in his signature black attire and hood, walking through Gorilla. The package then cut to various compilation of Styles' best in-ring moments, alongside Styles saying his signature catchphrase, "This is still the house that AJ Styles built." Now, as of this recording, there's currently no further information as to Styles' post-return plans. Styles' last televised WWE match saw him shout "I quit" to Cody Rhodes at Clash at the Castle 2024, losing his chance at the undisputed WWE Championship in the process. Any potential Bad Blood plans for Styles, who hails from the state of Georgia, are also unknown, as the Atlanta-based event is slated for the night after his return to WWE programming. Styles has been absent from the Blue brand for more than 3 months since his loss in Scotland, though he did perform on WWE's Japanese and German international house show tours. Styles has had a bit more luck outside of WWE as of late, as his last televised match across any show saw him pick up a victory against Namochi Marufuji at Pro Wrestling Noah's Destination 2024 pay-per-view in July. Styles hasn't wrestled at all since August 29th, and this week it was reported that his future in wrestling is up in the air, with his contract set to expire either later this year or early next year. Now, Bayley, she'll be competing for the Women's Championship at Bad Blood against Nia Jax. After a double pin last week on SmackDown muddied the waters of the Women's Championship match at Bad Blood, former champion Bayley emerged victorious in a number one contenders match on this week's episode of SmackDown when she pinned her friend Naomi. Bayley will go on to challenge Nia Jax for the championship in Atlanta, Georgia on October 5th. Of course, last week the pair teamed up to take on Jax and Miss Money in the Bank Tiffany Stratton. The stipulation of the match stated whoever pinned either Stratton or Jax would get a championship shot, but if one of them were pinned by the heels, they would leave SmackDown for good. Both Bayley and Naomi pinned Jax at the same time, leading to another match to determine the decisive contender, which of course Bayley won last night. Now, as far as Bad Blood goes, it's a pretty hot ticket according to new reports. Things may be cooling down weather-wise in October, but Bad Blood is still the hottest ticket in town. Fans are rabid for WWE's next premium live event at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, so much so that it may be impossible to attend for those who dragged their feet. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Bad Blood nearly sold out the moment tickets went on sale, but now tickets on the secondary market have exploded as well. The Observer noted that the lowest price for a secondary market ticket was roughly $275, with around only 200 of those remaining, making it, quote, among the most in-demand tickets in pro wrestling history. The highly anticipated rubber match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is at least partially responsible for driving those sales, as the two are set to meet in the confines of Hell in a Cell, one of WWE's most compelling stipulation matches. McIntyre picked up the victory in their first encounter at SummerSlam, with Punk evening the score in a strap match at Bash in Berlin. Many had anticipated that match going on last, but the Observer reported that Bad Blood's other marquee match, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes taking on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu of the Bloodline, may take that slot instead. WWE has been building tension between Rhodes and Reigns in some ambitious new ways, including a well-received cinematic promo taking place on the gridiron of Georgia Tech's football field. It's also widely believed Rhodes will receive a grand entrance at Bad Blood, with a big marching band playing his theme as well. Now, speaking of Bad Blood, we have confirmed hosts for the upcoming PLE 2. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair were announced as the official hosts for Bad Blood on October 5th. The Women's Tag Team Champions made the announcement on the September 27th episode of Friday Night SmackDown. The duo teased surprise VIP gifts. We'll have to wait and see indeed what they are. Now, what's Randy Orton's thoughts on the undisputed WWE Champion teaming up with Roman Reigns? Well, he says he's got no problem with Cody Rhodes for now. Randy Orton kicked off the September 27th episode of SmackDown and said the idea of Cody Rhodes teaming with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood doesn't sit right with him. At Randy's request, Rhodes came out to give him an explanation. Rhodes said that the legend killer Randy Orton should understand that Solo Sikoa's rogue bloodline is a legend that has gone too far, and now it's time for the legend to be killed. Cody said he hoped Randy didn't have a problem with that, and Randy said it wouldn't be a problem at all unless Cody made it one. Kevin Owens came down to enter the conversation, and they were interrupted by Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga. Solo tried to say that he failed every time Cody tried to end the bloodline by teaming with Randy Orton or Owens. Therefore, he's teaming with Roman Reigns to try and succeed in ending the bloodline. Kevin Owens challenged the group to a tag team match. Cody Rhodes tried to make it a six-man, but Kevin quickly said that because Cody is teaming with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood, he wanted the chance to team with Randy against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu tonight. And the match was later made official, but Randy Orton had to play peacekeeper by the time the night was done. Kevin Owens told Cody Rhodes to stay out of their business on Friday SmackDown, and Cody didn't listen. Owens teamed with Randy Orton to take on Fatu and Sikoa in the main event of the show. When Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa got involved, Cody came down to help out his friends. Owens hit Solo with a stunner and seemed to have the match won, but Jacob rolled Cody into the referee so he couldn't count the fall. The distraction allowed Jacob to hit multiple super kicks, leading to Solo scoring the pinfall victory. After the bout, Owens was visibly upset with Cody. Orton got in between the two, and they eventually hugged it out to close the show, but tensions continue to grow. Now, Carmelo Hayes has tied the series between himself and Andrade. It looks like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes will go to a best-of-7 series, as Carmelo and Andrade tied at 3 wins apiece. Carmelo Hayes defeated Andrade in their 6th match on the September 27th episode of SmackDown. However, it was not without the interference of LA Knight. Carmelo Hayes blindsided Knight as he was being confronted by Andrade backstage before the match. The United States champion responded by coming down ringside towards the end of the match between Andrade and Hayes. Hayes was able to use the distraction in order to knock Andrade into LA Knight to score a quick pinfall roll-up victory over El Idolo. After the match, Knight tried to shake Andrade's hand, but the former NXT champion blew him off. During the aforementioned backstage confrontation, Andrade told Knight that he lost respect for him after Knight tried to bump him instead of shaking his hand like a man on the September 20th episode of SmackDown last week. Immediately after the match, Michael Cole implored SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis to sanction a 7th match between Andrade and Carmelo. Now, NXT is heading to the CW network next week, and now we know what match will open the show. After weeks of hype and anticipation, NXT is just mere days away from their CW network premiere from the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois. The show will feature 2 big title matches and various main roster stars set to appear on the program. On September 27th, the company announced that Roxanne Perez, defending the NXT Women's Championship against Julia, will open next Tuesday's show from Chicago. Julia made her WWE debut at NXT No Mercy and confronted Perez to set the stage for their big showdown for the title. On the September 24th episode of NXT, the 2 women took part in an in-arena press conference that was interrupted by former CMLL World Women's Champion Stephanie Vacqua. Now, timeless Toni Storm is coming to CMLL. CMLL hosted the September 27th edition of Noche de Campeones, featuring 7 title matches on the card. Ahead of the main event, though, a big-time match was announced for next week. To celebrate the month of Amazonas, a month used to celebrate CMLL's women's division, CMLL announced that the 2023 CMLL Women's Universal Champion La Catalina were facing a top international talent. The vignette had footage cut before revealing that none other than former NXT Women's Champion and former 3-time AEW Women's World Champion timeless Toni Storm will be Catalina's opponent. Despite both sharing time in WWE, this will be the first time the Chilean talent and the New Zealand talent will be facing each other in singles action. This will be Storm's CMLL debut and her first ever match in Mexico. Now, a match has been announced for tonight's Collision Grand Slam show on TNT. Brody King will be in action on the September 27th episode of AEW Rampage. The House of Black, Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews defeated Lio Rush and Action Andretti. Andretti expressed his frustration after the match and threw his water bottle at King, who was ringside during the match. King then attacked Andretti, and Action's top flight teammates pulled him out of the ring. Later in the show, the broadcast team confirmed that Brody King will face Action Andretti at AEW Collision Grand Slam. And finally, Anna Jay is back in action for AEW inside of an AEW ring. Prior to the September 27th episode of AEW Rampage, Anna Jay had been absent from the AEW ring since the June 26th episode of AEW Dynamite. Throughout August, she competed in the Stardom 5-Star Grand Prix. Jay then returned to AEW on the September 27th episode of AEW Rampage. In a pre-match interview, Anna Jay noted that she had been through plenty of changes during her time in AEW. She stated that she was unsure where she fit in AEW now, as the women's division looked a lot different. However, Jay said she would find out punch by punch and kick by kick. Anna Jay then faced Robin Renegade in a mostly dominated match. She scored the victory with a kick and gory bomb. In doing so, she picked up her 60th victory in AEW competition. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.